Xavier University set high standards in regards to its student athletes in the 2013-2014 school year. The women's soccer team kicked it off with the first win of the season, beating Purdue 4-3 on August 25th. Senior Abby Fisher won the Queen City Invitational and was named Big East Cross Country Female Athlete of the Week. Volleyball recorded the university's first Big East victory for any team, downing Butler 3-1 on September 27th. October 9th marked the first Big East win for the men's soccer team when the program defeated DePaul with a 2-1 score. Shortly after, the men took on the fourth-ranked team in the nation, Georgetown, and won 2-1. On the same day, the women's soccer team celebrated its first Big East win with a 2-1 victory against Seton Hall. The men's soccer team carried a 6-match win streak in Big East play through the heart of October. On November 2nd, the women's soccer team won at Creighton 2-0 to close its season with a 9-8 overall record. Men's basketball started the year on fire, beating Tennessee at home 67-63. The next day, the women's basketball team won at Michigan in overtime 79-75. Senior Claire Fisher became Xavier University's first ever participant in the NCAA Cross Country or Track Championship Finals when she represented Xavier in the event on November 23rd. The volleyball team wrapped up its conference season on the same day, finishing second in the Big East with a 12-4 mark. To close out the month of November, the women's basketball team beat Kansas 64-59 in the Paradise Jam. The men's basketball team had a blowout win against the University of Cincinnati in the annual Crosstown Classic on December 14th. Justin Martin's 17 points propelled the Musketeers to a 64-47 rout. The success of this season's volleyball team was further celebrated when Alex Smith, Aubrey Smith, and Abby Bessler were awarded AVCA All-America honorable mentions. Men's basketball closed out 2013 and helped ring in the 2014 new year with their first Big East win, a 70-60 victory over St. John's in front of a packed Cintas Center crowd on New Year's Eve. The women's basketball team also hosted St. John's in its first home Big East contest, defeating the Red Storm 70-65 to achieve their first conference victory. Men's senior soccer player Matt Walker signed with the Columbus Crew of the MLS on January 9th, and a week later, senior soccer player Nick Hagland was drafted 10th overall by Toronto FC in the MLS Super Draft. In the first week of February, identical twins Claire and Abby Fisher were highlighted in a feature article by the Big East about their standout seasons on the cross-country team. The women's tennis team distinguished themselves in their first Big East win against Butler, defeating the Bulldogs 7-0 on February 19th. Track and field senior Craig Kirkle won the 2014 Indoor Big East Championship in pole vault. For track and field, Kirkle, junior John Kolobab, and sophomore Mercedes Oliver were named to the All-Big East indoor team. February 22nd will go down as one of the most momentous days of the year for Xavier. The men's swimming team captured the university's first Big East crown. Coach Brent McDonald was named Men's Coach of the Year, and senior swimmer Chad Thompson was named Most Outstanding Swimmer. The women's swim team rallied for a third-place finish in the event. 13 men and 9 women were named to the All-Big East team for their efforts at the championships. March 1st was a big day for the men's basketball team. 3-time All-American and 2013-14 National Player of the Year Doug McDermott and Creighton came to Cintas Center for a Big East battle. The Musketeers used Samaje Kristen's 21 points and Justin Martin's 19-point, 16-rebound double-double to power past the Blue Jays 75-69 in front of a standing room-only crowd at Cintas Center. At the conclusion of the women's basketball season, Madison Blackwell was named to the Big East All-Freshman team. From February 1st to March 5th, the women's tennis team went on a tear, winning 9 consecutive matches. At the conclusion of Big East Conference play, the men's basketball team finished tied for third in its inaugural season. On March 13th, the team defeated Marquette 68-65 in its first Big East tournament game in the storied Madison Square Garden. Xavier was then selected to participate in its 8th NCAA tournament in the last 9 years, where it fell to NC State 74-59 in the opening round on March 18th. The women's golf team won back-to-back events at the Red Rocks Invitational and the Rio Verde Invitational on March 2nd and 9th. Senior Ariel McNair tied for second place in the Red Rocks Invite, and sophomore Shane Crutchfield finished second overall in the Rio Verde Invitational. In the Big East Championship tournament, the women's golf team finished fourth, with Ariel McNair carting the low round of the tournament with a 69. McNair and Crutchfield were joined by junior Abby Smith on the Big East All-Conference team. The men's golf team placed fifth in their Big East tournament, while senior Yuki Kato finished in a tie for second place. Baseball started the 2014 campaign with a 4-game winning streak, which included a 3-2 victory at 12th-ranked North Carolina. The strong start carried into Big East Conference season, where the Musketeers opened with a bang, sweeping both Georgetown and Villanova on consecutive weekends. The women's tennis team used victories over Seton Hall in the quarterfinals and Marquette in the semifinals to reach the championship match of the Big East tournament, where it fell to top-seeded DePaul to earn a runner-up finish. The men's team opened with a quarterfinal victory over Butler, but was stopped by St. John's in the semifinals.
Following their performances throughout the season and in the Big East Championship, men's golfers Yuki Kato and Corey Ward were named Big East All-Conference. Xavier's baseball team earned a spot in the 4-team Big East Championship held at MCU Park in Brooklyn, New York. The 4th-seeded Musketeers dropped the first game against the top-seed Creighton, but then went on a run. Head coach Scott Guggen's crew eliminated St. John's and Seton Hall on their way to a rematch with Creighton in the championship game. The Musketeers received a sensational start from freshman Trent Estelle, who pitched a complete game 3-hit shutout to propel Xavier to a 5-0 win over the Blue Jays in the Big East Conference Championship in a nationally televised game on Fox Sports 1. Senior Mitch Elliott was named the tournament's most outstanding player, while teammates Daniel Rizzi, Joe Forney, Derek Hasenbeck, Trent Estelle, and Sean Campbell joined Elliott on the all-tournament team. The conference crown earned Xavier an appearance in the NCAA tournament for just the second time in program history. Senior track and field runners Claire Fisher and Tom Ullman also qualified for the NCAA championships, where they competed in the East Regionals in Jacksonville, Florida. Fisher laid claim to a 21st place finish in the women's 10,000-meter run, while Ullman closed the 3,000-meter steeplechase in 41st. The baseball team was placed in the Nashville Regional as the number 4 seed in the NCAA championship. Xavier opened against top-seeded Vanderbilt, where it fell 11-0 in the opening game. The Musketeers responded with a 6-4 win over number 3 seed Clemson to eliminate the Tigers from postseason play. Senior hurler Scott Cleaver picked up the victory, while Daniel Rizzi went 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored, and Brian Bruning was a perfect 4 for 4 at the plate. Despite 3-run homers from both Rizzi and freshman Andre Jernigan, XU's season came to an end with an 11-8 loss in extra innings to the second-seeded Oregon Ducks. Sophomore catcher Daniel Rizzi and junior center fielder Brian Bruning earned spots on the Nashville Regional All-Tournament team. Xavier's athletic teams closed the first season in the Big East with conference titles from the men's swimming and baseball teams. 2 programs, men's basketball and baseball, as well as Claire Fisher in both cross-country and track, and Tom Ullman in track and field reached postseason play in the NCAA championships. Xavier now has its sights set on making the 2014-2015 season just as successful.